Welcome everyone to the October 2021 General Membership Meeting. It's our first meeting back in public. So round of applause for that. And if you see this, it's because we're Zooming also. So anybody who could not be here is able to watch wherever they are at. So that's great. So very happy to be here. Very excited to see you all in Tucson. Beautiful day out. So for those of you who are staying and playing golf tomorrow, should be great. So I just wanted to do a quick welcome. And then we do have a lot on the agenda today. We're going to be talking about some SWANA business in terms of scholarship recognitions. We have voting that we will all need to participate in terms of our board members, new board members, and then the executive board moving up. We'll have some SWANA award recognitions in terms of for those who have submitted to recognize our fellow members out in the municipalities. We do have an international board update, and then we will have an update from our safety ambassador who's here as well, Mike Prado. And then we do have some presentations toward the end of the day after lunch, one around MRF technology and what's going on in the industry around recycling and the solid waste MRFs, as well as a circular economy. So I know that's a hot topic right now. You hear a lot about recycling and reducing and reusing, but the circular economy movement is becoming very big and important in terms of how we repurpose our resources. So more to come on that as well. So in looking at our first agenda item, I want to talk about SWANA scholarships. So every year, SWANA puts together scholarships for those in the industry and their children who are going to universities, going to colleges, and moving on to try to better their professional and academic careers. And so we have $2,000 scholarships that we hand out every year. And it's a competitive process. And we have a committee that votes on them. And so this year, we were able to provide scholarships to 6 individuals. And so I'll announce those individuals here. So I think one is actually in the building. She's running a little late parking, I think maybe. But we also have a video of recognition and thank yous from the awardees. And so our first scholarship recognition goes to Lita Collins. Lita Collins is going to Arizona State University. She is studying majoring in business law. So very excited to have her get one of our scholarships. So a round of applause for Lita Collins. Our second one is Lauren Murphy. So Lauren is going to the University of Arizona. She's brilliant, for those of you. Majoring in public health. And so congratulations, Lauren Murphy. Alicia Newton is our other awardee. So she is also going to the University of Arizona, majoring in speech, language, and hearing science. So congratulations, Lisa. And then we have Kylie Rath, Arizona State University, majoring in sustainability. Congratulations, Kylie. And there's Taylor Wellborn, Northern Arizona University, so our lumberjacks, majoring in nursing. So congratulations for Taylor. And last but not least, I saw she came into the room, made a grand entrance, Emerson Maine, University of Arizona, majoring in veterinary science. And Emerson's actually here in the back. Can you wave? Congratulations. And I do want to play a short video of the awardees saying thank you to SWANA. So I will share screen.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I just wanted to say thank you for the scholarship opportunity. My scholarship funds were put towards my tuition. I would make everyone proud when I graduate from vet school. So thank you for the opportunity, and it has really made a difference.
Hi, my name is Lauren Murphy, and I am currently a senior attending the University of Arizona. I am majoring in public health with an emphasis in quantitative methods. I have a minor in psychology and a minor in pre-thematic law. I am currently working on an internship with ASU School of Social Work centered in Tucson on a research study with Banner Medical Center. I would just like to thank SWANA for accepting my application and supporting me through my studies for the upcoming year. Thank you so much.
Hi there, my name is Kylie, and I am beyond grateful and honored to have received this year's SWANA Scholarship Award. I will be graduating this December with a Bachelor of Arts in Sustainability from ASU, and I'm keeping my options open as far as jobs go after graduation, but I'm hoping to find a career where I'm able to help rid the world of its waste. And yeah. So I'd like to thank you once again for helping me reach my goals and dreams. And in just a few short months here, I'll be off to save the world.
Hello, my name is Taylor Wellborn. I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for my scholarship that will allow me to further my education. I am currently in Block 3 of the nursing program at Glendale Community College, where I am set to graduate in May of 2022 with my BSN RN. I appreciate you giving me the chance to achieve this goal. Thank you.
All right, so congratulations again to all the awardees, and Emerson, thanks for being here. Appreciate that. Again, SWANA is very proud to support furthering education of students, especially children of people in our industry and members of our organization. So also I'd like to thank our sponsors who make that possible. We have Waste Management. We have all the Waste Management primarily is put together sponsorships in the past to allow us to provide these types of scholarships and awards to future leaders such as Emerson and those on the screen. So thank you all for participating in that piece. Next, we have on the agenda looking at our voting. So as you know, it's time to look at who's coming on the board and who's moving up in the board. And it's really exciting because, you know, to see our membership continue to grow and bring in future leaders, it really helps to bolster not just our ability to support you, the members, but to continue to bring in future leaders and talent onto the board to further our mission to support you all in the industry across the region. And so this year we have 4 board openings that we are going to look to fill. And so there was a committee chaired by our past president, Christina Pulsgrove, who recommended 4 names to move on to the SWANA board. So we have Isaias Romero from the city of Mesa is recommended. We have Eduardo Rodriguez from the city of Phoenix. We have Carlos de la Torre from city of Tucson and Christina Pulsgrove to remain on the board from city of Tucson. And so they will are nominated to become board of directors and move through the through their years with the SWANA board. And so with that, we do need a vote across the membership to make this official. So I'd like to nominate, or I move approval of the names listed to join the SWANA board. And they will be replacing Patrick Murphy, who is leaving the board. He's retiring from City of Mesa. So I do want to thank and acknowledge Patrick Murphy for his years of service with City of Mesa. He couldn't be here today, but he's done a great job supporting SWANA, doing work across the region. I know through the pandemic, they were instrumental in coordinating a lot of regional calls with the cities to really make sure we're coordinated, we're on the same page, where he was very good at sharing resources and just being a good team player, not just as a member of SWANA, but also just as a municipal partner. And so wish him well in retirement, and maybe a round of applause for Patrick Murphy. Brad Frisk is also on our board, and he will be moving off. He's in the back hiding out with Baylor. And Brad's done a great job for years with SWANA. He's been president, past president. He's always been there to help and participate and just do whatever's necessary for the good of the cause, and has just been a tremendous partner through his time with SWANA. So I want to thank you for your time on the board as well, Brad. And then we had Kenny Keith, who had retired a while ago. So this was before we could meet in person with Cochise County, I believe. And so he has since left the board and retired. So he is another one we are replacing. Brief time to get to know him, but he was great, very engaged. And so we wish him well in retirement as well. So. So with that, there's a motion to approve Isaias, Eduardo, Christina, and Carlos. Do I have a second out there? All right, Sean Tebby seconds the motion. A big aye if you approve. All right, thank you. Any nays? All right, congratulations, Eduardo, Isaias, Christina, and Carlos. Welcome to the board. Second, we have movement on the executive board. So I've been your president for the past year, and it's been great, and I've learned a lot, and it's been awesome to work with you all in that capacity. But it's time for me to pass the torch. So moving into, we have a recommendation to move into president is Lori Zelda Stellar with City of Phoenix. So that would be the succession there. And then moving into the vice president would be recommended Oscar Sinjin from Salt River Landfill, who is currently our treasurer. So I'm sure he'll love getting away from the bean counting for this organization. And then we have Jacob Dalton, who is our current secretary, who would be moving into treasurer. And then Missy Heineman, and Jacob's from Spartan Trucks. Missy Heineman with City of Tempe would then be moving into, joining the executive board, moving into secretary. And then I would then move into the past president role. So that is a recommendation on the floor. So I'd like to move approval of that. Does anyone, is there a second? Second. Christina Pulsgrove will second that motion. Let's have a big aye if you approve. All right, it's like church, everyone. Any nays? All right, then that is the new executive board. So congratulations, everybody. And again, this is my last meeting hosting these as your president. So I do want to say thank you for being supportive of me. Everyone on the board has been awesome, teaching me and helping me figure this out. It's been a crazy year with the pandemic, trying to figure out how to stay engaged, how to work with our membership in a virtual world. But you guys have all stuck with us, and this is evidenced by your participation here. So I want to thank everyone for your continued support of the organization, for your continued work in the field that we do. We do an essential service out there, and you guys have all just made it happen through hard times. So big kudos to just the solid waste industry, to all the municipalities, and to the board for your support and ongoing commitment to making this a better place. And so with that, I'd like to have Lori come up and say a few words as I pass the invisible gavel to Lori Zelda. Here it is. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, good morning, everyone. Like Felipe said, my name's Lori Zelda Stellar. If you don't know me, you've probably seen me around. I've been with SWANA now, and I know this because my oldest is 6 years old, and that's when I started, when I had a baby. So looking forward to serving you in the capacity of president this coming year. I do work with the City of Phoenix. I'm the solid waste administrator currently for residential collections in City of Phoenix. So I'm excited to be part of SWANA, continuing through the path and carrying our mission forward with the members and growing our membership and really focusing on what the mission is with SWANA and having more events like this. So I appreciate the opportunity and look forward to serving you. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Lori. Thank you, everybody. Next on the agenda is we have SWANA Award recognition. So every year we have different categories for SWANA Awards, and you, the membership, can nominate anyone from your municipality or other municipalities or the private sector to be recognized for awards in various categories. And so this year we have 3 awards, but before we get to that, I do want to recognize 2 individuals who have done a lot for SWANA, and one is Christina Pulsgrove, who is our past president, who will remain on the board because she's so committed to being part of this organization, and we love her. But she's done a great job just over the years, just providing great service to the board, to you, the members, being creative, finding ways to just keep us all engaged. And she's done a lot for me just personally to help me navigate this place. And so Christina with City of Tucson, I want to thank you so much for everything you've done and all your years of service and cycling through the board and all the various roles. She was the chief architect of WasteCon in Phoenix. For those of you who don't know or were able to go, how many of you went to WasteCon in Phoenix? Otherwise known as the best WasteCon like that ever happened. And how about that party? That was like the best party ever. So we got all these kudos. And so Christina was president during that time, and she really just made it happen, kept us all in line, and there was so many moving parts to make that happen. And so she's just a professional from top to bottom, and I want to thank you for that. So we have something. So we have an award or recognition. It's Christina Polskov in recognition of your years of dedicated service to AZ SWANA. So
Thank you.
and then, yes, Christina, please come talk to us.
Thank you very much for this. It's not expected at all, and I really appreciate it. I love working with this board. I love working with the members, and I'm really happy I'll be able to continue. I would still be a member regardless. So thanks, everybody, and I look forward to the next few years.
All right, we also have, as you know, we have this thing called the pandemic, so we were a little bit off on our meetings and awards. And so we do have another recognition for a past president who spent many years on the board, has done a lot for SWANA. You'd see him running around with score sheets on the rodeos, frantic, making sure things are just happening at all levels of the organization and in the board. And so Dave Bennett with City of Scottsdale has done a fantastic job over the years. He has since come off the board during the pandemic, so we weren't able to all meet in person, but I do want to recognize him. He wasn't able to be here today, but we will make sure he gets his award, same thing. But Dave, if he was here, he would thank you all as well, because he is super passionate about SWANA. He's super passionate about the industry, and he's just done a great job of being a good partner and just being fantastic at all levels through the organization. So he's kind of a pillar of SWANA. You know, ever since I've been on the board, I've known Dave, and he's just always been a great professional to work with and be around. So congratulations, Dave Bennett. And then we have 3 awards to give out. So one category we have every year is Employee of the Year, and this is someone who's nominated for their outstanding service to the community in the field of solid waste. This year, the City of Phoenix is proud to receive that award for Doris Berg. She is a SWEO. She's been with us for 20 plus 25, 30 years almost. She is a solid waste equipment operator, and she is super passionate about what she does. Doris, for those of you who know her, she's about yay tall, and she just gets it done every day. She shows up for work every day. She is just a really great example for our up and comers, as well as for our seasoned professionals that need to kick in the butt once in a while when they think it can't be done. She makes it happen. Unfortunately, she couldn't be here. She's in Phoenix. And I do want to recognize Doris Berg. And this is the award for her. It's a garbage truck picking up a can. So she'll be excited for this, so we'll make sure she gets it. But congratulations, Doris, for all your years of service and for your great work in Phoenix. Our second award is for Manager of the Year, Solid Waste Manager of the Year. And this goes to the city of Tucson. So we have Everardo Solano here. Are you here? If you're here, raise your hand. Come on up. Pat, do you want to get a picture? You want to be in the picture? Come on up. And Christina, Tucson, okay. Come on over. Congratulations, Everardo. And finally, we have Municipality of the Year. So this is awarded to the city that embodies professional service to their customers, innovation, continued creativity, and just great service all around. And this year, the Municipality of the Year is City of Tucson. So Pat, you want to come up and you want to say a few words to you for your municipality? What's your
First off, before we start off, everybody from Tucson, stand up. I gotta see everybody from Tucson. This is your award. This is you guys. Okay. So, I gotta thank everybody, as far as municipality of the year, we do a lot of things. We've had a lot of changes. We've gone from glass collections to running a compost facility to picking up 140,000 customers on a weekly basis, where that thing just disappears and people don't even realize it just happens on a weekly basis. And that's a tribute to all of you that just stood up in this room, including everybody within our department. And you guys make it happen. So this is a way that we can thank you. And we really appreciate everything that everyone does out there, from administration to the fleet services to the collections to everything. And it's pretty unique, the industry that we're in, that all these pieces have to work together to make it function. And this is a tribute to you all getting it done. So thank you, and we really appreciate it. Thank you, SWANA, for giving us this award. We'll be ready to take it again next year, hopefully. So we'll be shooting for that. But thank you all.
Why don't you guys give one the
Sure, if everybody from Tucson could come up and get a picture.
Without the shadow, without the screen.
Or just cover it.
Take a couple. 1, 2, and 3. One more time. 1, 2, and 3. Thank you.
Oh, you want to
All right, so again, I want to thank everybody and congratulate everybody who won for their award and nominee recognitions. Well deserved, and Tucson's having a rough year in sports, so at least you guys. And I'm feeling it too. I'm a Wildcat, but I'm glad at least someone's winning in Tucson right now. So thank you, Pat, for carrying the torch. I have a tryout at 10:30 for kicker, so we got to move this along. Okay. Next on the agenda is we would normally have a legislative update. Pete Klomoski is our legislative liaison. However, he could not be here at a family emergency, but he did reference the website. He is updated with our legislative updates, which is a great place to look for bills, legislation that's being pushed forward. So if you want any information regarding where we are with legislation or what's going on out there in the legislative world related to solid waste, please go to swana.org, swanaaz.org. SWANAAZ.org. I should know this. Legislative section. So that's where you'll get your legislative update. Moving on, we do have an international board update. So without further ado, our international board or AB rep, Pat Tapia with City of Tucson.
All right, good morning. All right, good morning. Get going here, right? So a couple updates on the international board for WasteCon. it is on. And that was a big question, with everything that's going on with COVID, I'm sure it's been a lot of challenges, but WasteCon will actually go on, and it's going to be in Orlando, Florida, November 1st through the 4th. So they're looking, hopefully everybody can get signed up. I know they're looking for registrations now, and we can get as much signed up as possible. So they're looking forward to that. Chapter surveys, they send out a survey to all the chapters, and they're hoping to get some information how headquarters can contribute back to all the chapters. And that's a big item right now, as far as, especially with virtual, not having in-person meetings. And they really want to try to reach out to the chapters and see how they can actually support them in any which way. The other thing is recycling. David Biederman was actually on the U.S. Senate Environment and Public Works Committee. They held an invite only for recycling for having a roundtable, and they invited David Biederman to actually attend this, which is actually, when you look at within our industry and seeing how SWANA is looked at, it's pretty high on the radar as far as being able to contribute to these Senate meetings. For him to be able to go out there and for them to recognize SWANA to give good input on this, he sat in there, was able to speak for about 5 minutes and say, $15 million, gets put every year into recycling, and they're asking to actually put more into that. So it's really good that we actually have that liaison within our headquarters that can actually contribute to these. The other item that came about was the Paycheck Protection Program, which is the PP loans that we had put in for SWANA last year. We received the first one for just under $450,000, and they actually submitted a to have that relieved. And actually, they did get word last week that relieved, so they don't have to pay that back, which is a good thing. That really helps support SWANA. And then there's 3 standing committees that SWANA always has. There used to be 4, but they consolidated. There's a policy committee. There's a planning and membership committee, which those were combined. They used to be separate, and now they're one. And then a finance committee. I'm actually part of the planning and membership committee. And right now we're working on, and we'll be meeting in November 1st at Orlando, is safety and the strategic plan going forward on safety. The biggest drive that we're going to be doing over the next 5 to 10 years within our industry is how we're going to get ourselves off the number 5. We know that our industry is the 5th most dangerous, and we want to try to see if we can't make steps forward going on that. Obviously, SWANA alone can't do that, but how can we put something together that we can work within our industry and somehow participate and try to get that needle to move? So that's going to be we already had about 10 meetings on this. We're putting together that strategic plan for the next 5 years. And then one more thing I wanted to do is that we have a good leader, and it always takes a good leader in the SWANA organization. And one is actually being recognized by headquarters, by Maine SWANA. We have just over 10,500 members, and to be nominated and not is a good thing, but to actually be selected is that much better. And we're really proud to actually have a member within our chapter. So this is a big congratulations and a big honor for professional achievement. SWANA recognizes members annually for professional achievement for valuable and distinguished contributions to the association, the individuals, employee organization, and the public. The length of continuous contributions and services by an individual are also considered in this selection. The International Awards Committee in 2021 recognizes 4 members. So you think about that. Out of 10,500, only 4 members get selected. So it's our honor, and we're very happy, and we're very lucky that Felipe Moreno out of the city of Phoenix will be recognized and receiving this award at WasteCon in November. So a big round of applause. Congratulations. So with that, I am done on the international update.
Thank you, Pat, for that and for that recognition. I appreciate that. And honestly, that award is something that we share with the chapter because a lot of our ability to do things and a lot of my ability to do things is learning from you all. And Pat's been a great mentor to me, whether he likes it or not. I say, you're my mentor. Because I've looked up to a lot of you in the organization. Just being around you, seeing how you do your business. I didn't grow up in the organization or in the industry, and so I've learned it along the way from great leaders and from my peers and from staff. And so I want to share that award and recognition on behalf of Arizona in our chapter. And thank you, Lori Zelda, for nomination. And this is really our award and recognition because we're a strong place, and it's good to have Arizona and Phoenix and Tucson and Mesa and all the Tempe and the regions on the map with what we're doing out there, because we do a great job and want to be a model for those across the country. So thank you for that. Next, we have our safety ambassador. So we have a safety ambassador, Michael Prado, with City of Phoenix, and he has a committee that he's put together across the different municipalities. It's really important, as you know, what Pat said, safety is paramount. We're the 5th most dangerous profession in the country for fatalities. And so it's very important that we make sure that safety continues to be a priority for this organization, not just on the national level, but on the local levels. And we want to be a model for other chapters around us. And so it's really important that we continue to keep safety on the forefront. We have selected Michael Prado as our safety ambassador, and I'm really excited with him being a part of this because he's super passionate about safety. For those of you who don't know him, you will get to know him and the committees put together. So we're trying to push the envelope, take things to the next level on how we promote safety within the chapter, within the nation, and just as a board. And so with that, I'll turn it over to Michael Prado to come up and provide a safety update, a little bit of who he is, what the committee is doing, and just some safety topics to discuss. So thank you, Mike. Welcome, Mike.
All right. Good morning. Thanks again, Felipe, for that introduction. So again, I'm Mike Prado, Safety and Training Coordinator for City of Phoenix Field Services. I've been filling that role for about 4 years. Recently, in the last 6 months, I was selected to fill the role as your guys' safety ambassador for the Arizona SWANA chapter. And it's like Felipe did say, you know, I am very passionate about safety and what we do, and especially safety within our industry, right? I'd just like to introduce the committee. For those of you that don't know, and I don't believe many of the members are here, but Dave Bennett has chose to continue to sit on the committee. He's been a safety ambassador for many years, and he's done a great job with it. And he's been able to help me out with the process and forming the committee and then moving the committee forward, right? David Pena from Mesa, Arizona. He's also serving on the committee. He's the safety coordinator at Mesa. We have Jesse Pringley from Goodyear, Arizona. Robert Magruder for some prize, and then Adrian Lobis from Phoenix, Arizona. So this year I've tried to incorporate some of the cities that haven't been on past committees, you know, just trying to reach out and branch out to what contacts do they have that maybe we don't have, that we've been working with the same cities in the past. You know, we always have a lot of the same players, our Tucsons, our Mesas, our Tempes, our Phoenixes. So we're just trying to branch out and see how much communication can we make going forward. So we've been meeting over the last 6 months and had several meetings discussing what's our goals, how do we be a resource for the chapter, and how do we continue to improve safety, right? I think Pat touched on it, you know, we're the 5th most dangerous industry, and it hasn't changed for many of years, you know, and how do we harness technology and improve that safety going forward? And I think we all have the same goal in mind. So little update from National SWANA. You may have received correspondence from this from main SWANA headquarters. Heat injury and illness prevention there's an emphasis on that now. There's been an uptick in fatalities and injuries and illnesses. So OSHA and even the feds are starting to step in and take a look at that and see what type of regulations are needed to ensure that employees that work within the states that are some of the hottest states, which we are, how do we protect those employees? And so there's a call out for some work groups to work alongside OSHA. They're asking that the SWANA safety ambassador or chapter or safety ambassador committee members put their names in for consideration. I'll be putting my name in. I think we, as one of the hottest states throughout the United States, I think we need to really keep a close eye on that, right? And see what's going on nationally and federally, and then definitely have our input. So I'll be working with not only the committee, but working with the chapter as well to ensure that our needs are met and that, you know, the regulations are, that we have a say in it, right? So again, a lot more to come on that. That's all going to be news and developments that happen over time over the next 2 years is what they're thinking. So I'm sure we'll hear more from Maine SWANA. And as we get updates, we'll pass those updates along to the chapter. So moving on, just some safety committee focus points that we've been working on and discussing as a group. We really have a concern with our tipping floor and landfill safety, with the emphasis on PPEs. You know, I can just speak for Phoenix, but I know we have, you know, we have residential or our non-commercial haulers, but we have our residential haulers come in. They don't wear PPEs, but yet they're the hardest to see. They're dumping their loads next to our commercial units. You know, it's just, I would like to say it's not if, but it's just when something drastic may happen. So I'd really like to work with my own organization and see how we improve that. How do we mandate vests? I don't know if that's possible, but how do we ensure that the people that are within our facilities are also safe? Because you gotta understand that if we were to hurt or even take it to the next level, end up, you know, cause a fatality, it's not just the person that loses their life, it's their family, it's our drivers, there's a lot of people impacted. So I just would like to really see what we do at our landfills and transfer stations really step up. So that's an effort we're working toward. And it's going to take a lot of meetings and discussions and really getting the right players at the table to have that discussion, you know. So so that's a good emphasis and a point that we're going to work on. We'll work again with the Arizona, with the SWANA board and have some recommendations and see where we start with that. You know, I'd like to really see Phoenix drive that. We're one of the we are the biggest municipality within the state of Arizona. I'd like to see us drive that bus. So, but more to come. Safety outreach events. So now that we're getting back out in the communities and out with each other in person, we are working to schedule some safety hauler outreach events. If you have a need for an event within your organization or maybe a nearby transfer station or dumping site, we'd love to get out there. We'd love to hear from you. I know the past chapters have been out, committees have been out at Glendale, they've been in Tucson, they've been in Flagstaff, they've been in Phoenix, but maybe some of our smaller cities or chapter members would like to see us out. We'd like to get out there, talk to your drivers, just focus on the emphasis of being safe, right? So sometimes we can take safety for granted. So it's just good to reiterate that message and then enforce that message out there. Lastly, so I know we're dealing within the city of Phoenix, but I'm sure you're dealing with it as well. So there's a national driver shortage. I don't think there's one entity in the driver CDL industry that's not feeling the pain with the lack of drivers, actually certified drivers that are actually out there. You know, we're constantly holding demos and we're seeing the trend go down as far as people applying or even coming out to the demo once they've decided to take the invite. With that being said, we've also recognized that the type of employee or candidate that we are hiring are not what we were getting maybe 1-2 years ago. We're getting a lot of candidates are coming from, at least for us, school bus drivers or over the road drivers. They don't have the same experience or even background, right? We had a lot of employees where we used to get that came from more physical jobs, maybe your delivery drivers, your concrete drivers, heavy equipment operators, which is a skill set is a little bit higher there. So we're getting employees that don't have that type of experience. And what we've learned is that it's not that they're not a good candidate, but they need to be developed. How do we develop them? How do we look at our own resources and what we're doing as far as training, and then take that to another level where we develop them so we grow from within. I don't think we have a choice at this point not to do so, because for us, nobody's knocking at the door. So we have to hire and then know that where we've had a 5-week program, well, maybe that program's not going to work going forward, but is the employee going to come to work, have a good attitude, and then just need more time to progress? With that said, I guess you would say, well, how's that what's that got to do with safety? Well, the reason I speak about it is that we also need to make sure that and realize that they're going to need more emphasis on safety, right? They don't come from this world, and again, fifth most dangerous industry, right? So they're really stepping into something that's really, a lot of times I don't even know if they know what they're stepping into. So we really need to support and assure that they're safe. Back to the heat injury and illness prevention, that goes hand in hand with this, because we've had since they are not acclimated to the heat, right? I'm driving a bus or I drive a long haul truck. I'm not used to working out in the 115. So we're bringing new hirees in and we're putting them in the heat, and they're falling out. But we need to make sure that we're keeping them safe. And what I've stressed to our managers group is that we need to keep an eye on that. So we need to be cognizant that they're not the same employees, and they weren't working in the heat with their previous employer, and now they are. So I just think it's going to take an emphasis on safety, development, and just support. So those are our updates. I can open the floor to any questions if there is. No.
Mike, can you give them kind of a quick overview in Phoenix, like Kamala, kind of how our academy works in terms of training? Because we are emphasizing more training on greener operators, and just kind of a quick overview of how you run the academy in terms of timing and how they progress.
Absolutely. So here at the City of Phoenix, we have two academies. We have our bulk trash, or some call it bulky trash or uncontained, right? A lot of our employees are going straight into the bulk trash academy, and how that works is they'll spend 5 weeks with my team. We take them, the first week is on a closed course, so we take them to thank you, Eduardo, but we take them to Eduardo's site, and there's a large empty field basically where we dump loads, and they practice picking up the loads and learning the techniques and the foundations, and becoming acclimated to the heat, and then again learning just the standard equipment. After that, they work side by side, so they're in a two-man partnership with the third, I guess it'd be a third-party trainer, which works with them once they progress to the field collection, and they work with them side by side every day for the next 4 weeks. And we get them, I like to say, is when they leave us, we've just poured the foundation, but it's still up to our supporting regions or teams to actually build the house, right? But they actually get time to develop in an area where we're not driving production, we're driving be safe, learn the right techniques, and just don't worry about production, because that'll come, especially with bulk trash. Running an articulator doesn't happen in 5 weeks. It takes time. So we also have our ASL collection, which after they go through the BT Academy, they'll rotate back through. Again, 1 week on a closed course, just picking up empty containers, learning techniques and fundamentals, and how to be safe in doing so, working through what we call, it's an actual policy with the City of Phoenix, is our safe collection ASL process, which takes them through your first step to pick up the container, to put in that container, and then actually hitting throttle and moving to the next. We'll work through them. And then again, they'll start in the field collection with trainers, and they'll go another 4 weeks. And again, the emphasis is safety before production, doing the right thing, making sound decisions, and just really learning what you're doing before you're worried about your speed. So really with the City of Phoenix, it's 10 weeks of training. And again, your training's not over just because you've left my team or that umbrella. You're out at the regions, and there's still other training goals or milestones you need to meet. Any other questions? Well, I thank you guys all for your time. You guys have a great day and be safe.
All right, thank you, Mike. And, again, just to underscore the safety component, I don't know, I know in Phoenix, like I said, we're constantly, and Lori's always pulling her hair out trying to fill the cupboards, keep the cupboards full with drivers, because it's just that constant churn of, it's a perfect storm of basically, we have a lot of retirements coming up. There's that generation it's time to move on. So you pair that with the competition of the CDL industry, not just competing with our fellow municipalities for solid waste drivers, but just the industry in general, over the road, construction, everywhere. So we have to be nimble as an industry, and we may have to look at things differently in terms of, and so in Phoenix, we're working on, bringing in the greener people that have the right attitude and the intangibles that you can't really teach, and then focusing on getting them there. So it's not possible without great staff that are committed to safety, committed to training like we have here with Mike and his team. Ricky and David are part of that safety team and training team, and they do an amazing job of just investing on the front end. And so that's something I want to stress with you all is we may have to invest more on the front end to get them there, but you teach them your way and mold them. And then you're going to spend a lot less time on the back end with accidents and lawsuits and, God forbid, a fatality or something like that. So I would just stress, because in the industry, we get so busy and mired in getting the day done and getting through it and getting the open routes filled, that the first thing that goes by the wayside is all the things that we think are expendable, and safety cannot be something that is expendable. All that work you do to rush through a route and get the day done doesn't matter if you're spending the day with a fatality. All that's wiped away. You didn't save any money. You didn't make anything better. So I would just really underscore what Michael's talking about and what the safety ambassador and team is focused on is make sure that we don't ever let that be the thing that we let go by the wayside. You know, I hear these stories back in the day where, well, you came from Republic or Waste Management, so you already know what to do. Here's the keys. We have to treat every operator, whether they have 20 years of experience or no experience, as if they're a brand new operator in how we train them. And so we can't take for granted past experience and assume they know. You may have 20 years of bad habits. So we got to make sure that we're teaching you the right way. So I just want to underscore everything that the safety team's doing, and thank you all for your focus as a chapter to make safety a priority and make it better for Arizona, for our chapter. I know in Phoenix, it's something that we're passionate about, and I know across the region you all are as well, knowing a lot of you in the crowd. So thank you for that. Thank you, safety team. Round of applause for your efforts. We are running ahead, which is good, I suppose. So the one thing I do want to do is take a minute to recognize, again, none of these events or a lot of what we do can be possible without our sponsors and vendors who do an amazing job to support our chapter, to engage with the industry. They're constantly talking to us about what do you need out there? How can we support what you do better? We have some great industry partners and vendors that have helped. You know, I feel like we work in tandem to shape the industry because we have a need. They go to the drawing board and figure out whether it's a yellow iron or an ASL or containers or just being a supporter of the industry in general. And so there's a list of sponsors that I want to recognize that do a great job in supporting AZ SWANA, supporting us in our daily work as in our municipalities. So we have RDO Integrated Controls. Want to recognize them. Thank you for your support. We have Safe Fleet Waste and Recycling. Staffing Specialists. Probably want to give them a call, most of you, because I'm probably a problem right there. Cart One LLC. Tetra Tech. Velocity Truck Center. Reich Company Landfill Equipment. Machine X Technologies. We have Republic Services, RMI, Waste Management, Short Equipment, Balar Equipment, Salt River Landfill, Rush Enterprises, Spartan Trucks, BTE Body, and Waste Quip. And so that's a long list of people. And so again, it takes all of that support to put on events like this, to put on the rodeos, the golf tournaments, and just really support everything we do. So again, I want to thank all of our sponsors and vendors. Some of you are here. If you're here, kind of raise your hand, wave. Thank you all for your support. And thank you for helping us put this great event on today. So with that, we are almost at lunchtime. So why don't we take a break and do some networking? We're running ahead of schedule. Lunch is at noon. But they're probably going to be setting up a little early. So does anybody have any questions for the good of the order or anything you want to? All right. All right. Again, we will go ahead and have a break, do some networking, hang out. Lunch is again coming up. In the afternoon, we do have 2 presentations. We have Amanda Jordan, who's in the back. He's going to talk about circular economy. And then we have Dave Yonke with New Gen Strategies. He's going to talk about, again, MRF technology and trends. So look forward to that. And we'll be floating around. Please, oh, go ahead. Oh, we have raffle. We have our raffle. Do we want to do something like that now a little bit, or do we want to wait? Oh, make sure you see. I'm not a good raffle person. All right, who's in charge of the raffle? Jacob, raise your hand. All right, stand up, because then everybody, no one can miss you. Like, all right, so make sure you buy your raffle tickets. Buy your raffle.